Okay, so one more issue, climate change.
Right.
You're not one of these guys who denies the existence of climate change. You don't deny the Earth is getting warmer.
Here's I've dedicated the last 60 years of my life to understanding the philosophy of science and the scientific method. And so I start with any field. Okay, what should the policies be that will make people's lives better? And I try to apply the scientific method. So what do I believe the science is on climate? CO2 is a greenhouse gas. It contributes to warming. Look back over that last 160 years of temperature change. The temperature rose about 0.4 of a degree in the first 80 of those years when the CO2 went up very little. Over the last 80, it's gone up quite a bit more, like let's say 30%. And the temperature's increased 0.5 of a degree. So it's increased 1/10 more than it did in the period where CO2 didn't go. Now these models show that it should have climbed much more. So we don't have all the answers, unlike the claims of people who are pushing it. But it's undoubtedly contributed to at least that difference, and there are many other variables. So go ahead.
So you acknowledge that the Earth is warming. The
Absolutely, it's warmed 0.9 of a degree over the last 160 years,
and that human activity has contributed to that. Although you would argue that it is less than.
Well, I'm not arguing. Those are what the measurements show. Mm-hmm. It's contributed much less than their models that are projecting catastrophe show. So the question is, okay, well, no, the basic question is the climate changing due to CO2 in a way that's going to be catastrophic and unmanageable? Or is it changing in a mild and manageable way? I believe the evidence is overwhelming that it's changing in a mild, manageable way. And so these policies that are being introduced in the United States, as a matter of fact, under their own models, will have virtually zero impact on the future temperature or other aspects of the climate. And in fact, I think they make matters worse because they get people going after the subsidies rather than innovating. What we're doing in the company is we're working on reducing energy consumption, we're in biofuels, we're developing processes to make chemicals out of CO2. So we're doing a tremendous amount, not to get subsidies, but because we believe we can do this economically through innovations. Whereas these policies are making people's lives worse. They're raising the cost of energy for no benefit. And guess who suffers the most? The poorest people use 3 times the energy as a percentage of income than the average American. So when we raise the cost of energy, make it unreliable, it benefits the wealthy who are getting these subsidies and hurts the poorest people. And you look at these policies, matter of fact, some of them generate more CO2, like subsidies to make wood pellets to burn, and then we ship them to Europe. I mean, this is crazy, not approving the Keystone Pipeline. That oil is going to be produced. Now it's going to be shipped by rail or by ship to China. So it generates more CO2.
So should a reduction of CO2 be a policy goal?
Well, I think if it can be done economically without making people's lives worse, then that's fine. But we shouldn't be setting up subsidies. We shouldn't be doing more corporate welfare, which is hurting the whole system, hurting society, hurting the poor the most, to accomplish that. We need to get towards permissionless innovation. So companies like us who are working on it, and Bill Gates, who says he's going to put billions into this, so he can innovate. And so we're not against any of these forms of energy. We're for forms of energy that make people's lives better rather than worse.